Hello and welcome to the Boost Over Ball podcast, your go-to place for everything Rocket League with your hosts, K-Cube, AJ Binky, and Red. So lean forward, lock in, and get ready to go Boost Over Ball.
We are indeed live. So the audio levels are good. We are streaming. We're capturing everything. All the video is here. Exciting times. First try.
Woo. Gross.
I got a new router, so maybe we don't drop off this time. Maybe, possibly, maybe.
Potentially.
It is possible. We shall see what happens. But hello, welcome to the Boost Over Ball podcast. To listeners new and old, hello and welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Kyle, K-Cube. In the top right, we have Quilly, and in the bottom middle, we have Red.
Ayo.
How's everybody doing?
Doing all right. Just hanging out.
Same old. Ready to talk some carball.
Yeah.
So on today's episode, we will be recapping CRL Open number 3 and the qualifiers that have happened for Open number 3 in RLCS so far, which being EU, SAM, and APAC. We now know our top 16 teams heading into this weekend's Open number 3. So we should know for EU, SAM, and APAC which teams will be representing their region in Birmingham. From there, we also will have a couple of topics to talk about alongside that, notably the viewership bump that we've seen in APAC and holy cow, group of death. I don't know. I really don't know what to say other than that. But you guys ready to jump right into some CRL?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we'll do a little bit quicker of a recap here. So I will go through the teams making the top 8. First, through the upper bracket, we have St. Clair Green, Concord University, Maryville, Northwood Blue, and through the lower bracket, we have West Virginia, Fisher College, Boise State, and Cumberland. We have St. Clair Green and Northwood, or Concord and Northwood going to the upper bracket final, and Northwood takes down Concord to solidify their spot in the finals. We then have Fisher making the absolute gauntlet of a lower bracket run, taking down West Virginia in 4, Maryville in 3, St. Clair Green in 5, and Concord in 5, only to come up just short in the grand finals, losing 4-2 to Northwood. But this is Fisher College's first foray into the top 4, let alone the top 2 this semester. Also last semester, if I'm remembering correctly. But this what a phenomenal run from Fisher College, that being the team of Justas, Force, and Parka, 2 French, and I believe that would be a Netherlands player. It is. So a Dutch player. So an all-import roster yet again, but some success for them as the rankings now sit as follows. Teams that have clinched their spot in the national championship after the third of the 4th regional. We have Northwood Blue with 38, St. Clair Green with 31, Maryville with 28. Notably, the top 8 teams will be making it to the national championships, an online single elimination best of 7 bracket. Teams that are currently in a national spot, we have Concord in 19, Akron Blue at 15, Fisher College with 14, Ball State with 10, and West Virginia with 8. Teams that are on the outside looking in are Cumberland at 7, Davenport with 5, Boise State with 5, and Oklahoma Christian University also with 5. So Fisher's top 2 puts them firmly in a spot for the CRL nationals that will be coming up in the next couple of months. But any surprises from you guys, or is it kind of a breath of fresh air to see someone a little bit different make that top 2?
I mean, I think it's always a breath of fresh air when someone makes that top 2 that isn't the standard like 3-4 teams. Although it's still Fisher College, which is as shown still very much a top school in CRL. CRL is in a weird state for me right now, right? Like it's just this. It's pretty much the same teams. It's going to most likely be the same schools running the top 8 for a while at this, because they're the ones that put the most money into these schools. These are guys getting full rides to college for their Rocket League capabilities, which fair enough to them. But it just seems sort of like monopoly on the top 8. So
I mean,
would love to see some parity, but I completely understand why, because that's college for you.
I mean, I feel like Fisher's a little bit of parity here, right? They took down 4 of the top 8 teams from nationals in the fall, right? West Virginia, Maryville, St. Clair, Concord.
Fisher's parity, but look at that Fisher roster still.
It is, but it isn't, right? We just haven't seen them yet, even though I think that they should have been there.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. But congratulations to Northwood for taking another regional, and big shock in CRL. We don't see a bracket reset. That's kind of crazy.
The first time this season.
No kidding. But anything else that you guys wanted to touch on for CRL before we jump back over to RLCS? That was a little bit of a quick section.
I don't know ball, so
there's a lot to keep up with. I got you.
I'm struggling to keep up with all these imports and whatnot, and all these different circuits of the international stage, let alone the CRL stage.
This is why we bring DJ on, because DJ knows his college ball for sure.
DJ knows ball.
Some would say he knows ball.
Yeah, but APAC. We have our teams that are making the top 16 for APAC, that being Luminosity, Elevate, Overlooked. I don't know if you guys could hear that. I think that the soundboard is not necessarily working for you guys, but I played the Deku Bop Dem sound. Deku Bop Dem. We have Kinotrope Gaming, Locomotive Esports, Jungle Juicers, Blue Torch, Executioners, God Speed, Revenue Redeemers, Southwest Side, Senza Esports, Elaru, Small Esports, and Machi's Minions. So, best name?
It'll be Deku Bop Dem forever.
Yeah, it will be them.
That was really good.
I do like Revenue Redeemers. That is
okay. So
I like that.
Deku Bop Dem is S tier. What's A tier? What's next? What's second?
I mean, Revenue Redeemers, Godspeed, Jungle Juicers is kind of
with
funny.
An exclamation point, might I add?
Yeah, with an exclamation point.
I don't know who Machi is, but he's got minions.
Fair. And then the next question that I had, is it going to be anybody other than Elevate?
Is Elio
LG?
You got to say that with the accent. An Aussie accent. Elio. It just sounds Australian.
It does. But yeah. But will it be anybody other than Luminosity, do you think, in this regional?
Nope.
No.
So
Elevate will try. It will be Luminosity, though.
So with the grand finals appearance, Luminosity will confirm their spot in the Birmingham Major and will be the APAC representative headed to Birmingham. So, and this I'm interested in hearing your guys' take on this, but Rocket League is currently blowing up in Japan. It is the second largest Twitch category behind Just Chatting in terms of viewership. The past, not this weekend, but the weekend before that, famous Japanese streamer Legendus streamed a Rocket League tournament, and popularity has skyrocketed. Realize is getting 3K plus viewers per stream while streaming Rocket League. And Kinotrope Gaming, who made a top 16, streamed their open qualifier run over the weekend to 19,000 viewers, which for the record was more than the EU mainstream for the main event for the Friday of Open number 3 or Open number 2.
Sounds like we got a whole new population of people entering the ecosystem.
So Kinotrope Gaming is Furlash, Realize, and Lunatic, a full Japanese roster, which makes sense why the Japanese viewers are supporting them. But 19K viewers on a single team watch party.
Shit.
That's insane.
It makes sense. They're very, very big with national pride, so they will ride or die with anyone that's on their side. So it's good to see the game still able to grow, especially around the world. And I can only imagine it's going to be good things until they become insane and start kicking our butt.
So currently, the game popularity in Japan right now, League of Legends stays on top, as you might imagine. But currently, in terms of popularity, Rocket League is second. So that is a huge jump for them in a market that they've, not really tapped into, in my opinion. Especially with the game not even being not even available on Steam or on Epic in Korea, which still does not make sense in the slightest to me. But whatever. But do you think that this kind of popularity could bring like a new wave of Japanese Rocket League players in a few years' time?
I would hope. I think it will definitely help. I think in seeing, continuing to see like growth from the APAC region. I mean, it's similar to like with France, right? France is such a dominant region because they have that catering to the up and comers, to just keeping the game in the good graces of the community and like keeping the population growing there for Rocket League. So we should see hopefully a similar thing here with Japan, where a lot more players are going to get into Rocket League, and then over the years we should hopefully see some more high level players coming out of the APAC region that are actually Japanese. So it'd be really cool. Not saying that we won't see, from other regions in APAC, but just Japan being the big one there. I'm excited to see the growth that should come from it.
I am curious if Epic, Psyonix, Blast, whoever you want to pinpoint on this one, if they have any say whatsoever in helping FIFA pick the nations for the FIFA World Cup for Rocket League. If they do, this would be a prime time to include Japan, in my personal opinion.
All that just for NRG just to still drop out.
Damn.
Hey,
what do you think?
There was a good reason for beast mode. There was a good reason.
I'm still on the it was FK's fault train.
Potentially.
His existence threw a wrench in the whole thing.
Daniel and Atomic went and played Gamers 8 with Nas without beast mode, so why would they not want to play again with the same thing? It was like the only different thing that changed was First Killer instead of Nas.
Yeah, but the teams they were going against were significantly more stacked.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm not going to pretend to know. I'm not going to, say that I have the answer, because I definitely do not. So,
question regarding the APAC and Japan boom. Do we think this will help make APAC a two-team region? Or do you think they're going to stay one for the foreseeable future for a while? Or like, what growth do you think the Japanese / APAC, I guess they're a part of it, what growth do they need to see for them to become a two-team region?
I think they have to take a series at a LAN.
Just one?
I think that's the start. That's the start.
That would be the starting point. Yes. They would take a series at LAN against I would say against, at the very least, Oceania. At the very least, Oceania. Would love to see even SAM, but those are the starting points. I'm not going to put SSA in there because, well, we all know why. But if they can take a series off of Oceania or SAM, it's a good start.
How many one team regions do we have?
APAC, APAC, SSA.
APAC, SSA.
Yeah, 2.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Because Oceania's got 2, MENA's got 2, SAM's got 2, NA and EU got
4. So, also I looked back because I was curious, right? For like there was the Saudi E League, so that's a little bit different, but Team Falcon's first foray into international play for RLCS was in 2022 at the Spring Split Major, and they finished second behind Moist. They got 9th to 12th at Worlds that year. At the Fall Split Major in 2022, in that December, they got 12th to 14th, 9th to 12th, 5th to 8th, 5th to 8th, second in London, second at Esports World Cup, 3rd to 4th at the World Championships, losing to BDS. So, like, the second place at their first event, that's not something that we've seen from APAC. So, I think that personally, as a whole, the World Championships in Dallas was the best overall Rocket League that we've seen from OCE. I don't know if you guys would agree with that. They, both OCE teams almost made it out of groups. But I am pleased with the growth. They've had a diversification of talent, wildcard, and Scrims World are teams that I did not, expect to see coming. But you have Quick Trip Pioneers going out in round 5 of Swiss. We had Team Power going out in round 5 of Swiss to Gentle Mates, but most notably Power and Quick Trip both taking down Gen G, both taking down Team Secret. I think that we had, in our predictions, most of us had Sam number 2 better than OCE number 1, not Sam number 2 worse than OCE number 2. So that's been a really positive story for the region. I hope that they can continue that going into Birmingham, whichever 2 teams that they end up sending. But I think that we need to see, APAC not, bottoming the Swiss bracket at a major to kind of see what happens. So maybe this, 1/3 true APAC talent roster is what it's going to take for them to kind of try and, raise the level of competition up. But, Limitless and Gaming Gladiators both, notably did not win a series. Limitless won a singular game against Pioneers in round 3. But, I think there's still a lot of work to go for them before they can start, making calls for having a second team. It's a good question, though. But anything else anybody wants to add on APAC before we jump over to Sam?
Nothing here.
I'm all good.
Teams making the top 16 in SAM. We have Furia, Team Reds, Corinthians Esports, Secret, Blazar, Genesis, Fear of God, Godfidence, Moonrise, Gratia, Yonkyo, Papo de Visao, Luck Esports, Fofos, True Neutral Academy Black, and Novus AV. So best name of the 16 that we got here?
Godfidence is pretty good, especially paired right next to Fear of God. Feel like that's just a good tandem duo there.
I agree.
Some of these would also probably be good if I knew what they meant.
Yeah, I
This
don't
is
know
true.
Spanish.
This is true. Yep, that is a fair point. And then the next kind of question that I have, and this is kind of a, maybe an easier question. If you're picking 2 teams from this region to represent SAM at the major, who is it?
I mean, is that really, really a question?
I mean, Fury, the 2.
I feel like the 2 is still pretty obvious as well, right?
Secret?
Yes.
Team Secret?
Yep.
It should like be Team Secret. I don't see how it isn't.
So Team Secret is currently 8 points clear of Godfidence in second place, and they're 10 points behind Furia. So, again, with a top 4 finish, I believe both teams will secure their spot at the major. But however, it is most notable that, you try to do the best that you can for seeding purposes moving into the Birmingham major. So all the points will matter. So Luminosity, Furia, and Carmine Corps are the only 4 teams and Maestros del Esfercio from SSA are the only teams that have won every regional and are atop the point totals with 31 points total. So a lot to play for, but the SAM teams that are fighting for the spot: Godfidence, Blazar, Corinthians, Team Red, and Novus AV have a lot to play for, and they need Team Secret to crash out early. So I believe a upper bracket finish, like a top 4, top 6 for Secret confirms their spot. So have to wait and see on that one. But last but not least, EU. Let's talk about the teams making the top 16 first. We'll do best name, and then we'll talk about some of these groups that they've drawn up. The teams making the top 16 are Ninjas in Pajamas, Carmine Corps, Dignitas, Vitality, GK Esports, Ascend, 100%, Start Point, Gentle Mates Alpine, Fast 4-Wheel Drive, RRG, Redemption, Sick with an exclamation point, Synergy, Caliente, JJ Rocks. So best name of the top 16 in probably the lamest best name.
Sick or Ninjas in Pajamas? Ninja Pajamas is a classic.
I think I give the edge to Ninjas in Pajamas because that is an org, and they have a cool name.
Fair.
They
I'm always
give
going to say
pirates on a
Redemption
boat.
because they're always going to say Redemption because their logo's red.
That's fair. That's fair.
He's a simple man, simple pleasures, the color red.
Exactly.
Yeah. But so we pictures have been floating around on Twitter. I'm not sure if everyone has seen them or not, but they released the round 1 group matchups for open number 3. And I'll read through this. In Group A, we have first Carmine Corps versus Sick, Vitality versus GK, Ninjas in Pajamas versus Synergy, and Gentle Mates versus Ascend. Those are your 8 Group A teams. Yes, I did say Carmine, Vitality, Ninjas in Pajamas, Gentle Mates, and GK. And in Group B, we have Start Point versus Fast 4-Wheel Drive. We have 100% versus Redemption. We have Dignitas versus RRG. And we have JJ Rocks versus Caliente. So
messed up.
They've tilted the scales quite a bit in terms of talent in each group. What are your first thoughts on these groups?
If I'm Dignitas, I am breathing a sigh of relief. I'm propping my feet up. Life is great. Because, good lord, to miss that death group.
What a time for the curse of the quarterfinals to rebite Joria's.
No. That would be. Oh, that might be worse than the curse. Like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, Group B, which is a nice path with roses and cotton candy, and then Group A is literally just Legos and sharp glass. That's the path you got to take. Yeah. It is hell on earth.
Lord.
So the way that I was looking at this, right? Is this just a free ride for Dignitas and 100% out of Group B, like uppers?
It should be,
unless they like friendly fire each other. I don't know exactly how the bracket's going to stack out, but like
as a Dignitas doubter, it should be the easiest qual in their life.
I would tend to agree on that one. And then, so 4 teams from each group will make it out. So notably, we will be dropping, if I had to guess out of Group A, it would be Carmine, Vitality, Ninjas in Pajamas. Those 3, I think, are pretty much a lock for me to make it out of Group A.
This gives room for surprises, though.
It certainly does, but that's crazy.
Because the round 2 matchups are going to be insane.
They are, especially because
round 1 matchups are crazy.
2 of these 4 teams are going to have to come through lowers.
Mm-hmm.
No, like Second Life, which in reality, I think if you put like a Mates and a GK in Group B, I think they come out of it. So it's like, it's a little bit crazy that all of the top teams from EU are in the same bracket. And I mean, I don't see a reason to pick against Carmine Corps because they seem to be in another universe this year so far. But I mean, I think this kind of spells the end for Mates, for GK. excuse me, sorry, maybe not mates. They still have a chance, but like
I would say it spells the end for mates purely because they didn't make top 16 from Open 2. Like that is such a huge like shot in the foot.
Yeah, couldn't imagine
so
favorite team not make it Open 2.
mates currently sit 7 points out of a spot. However, they are currently chasing 100% with 13 points, Ninjas in Pajamas with 15 points, Dignitas with 16, and Vitality with 18.
These matchups, the other
They
side
have
of
a
these matchups
chance
is this.
to
Yeah, it
knock
gives
these teams down to the lower bracket and potentially eliminate them.
all it takes is a Cinderella run, and suddenly they have life.
It's hard to bet against Joyo and GK.
Not anymore.
It's still like Joyo. But I mean, I kind of don't understand how the groups were drawn. It seems like a massive disparity in talent, in my personal opinion.
They just corrected how they fixed it or how they did it too, because people were complaining about the last two, so they adjusted it for this one, and now this one's screwed. And if they were using the old one, it would have been way more fair of groups. So it's pretty much a double-edged sword, and there's no winning.
Yep, no winning. Everyone loses. Except for the viewers, because we get some awesome round 2 matchups.
Everyone loses except for Dignitas.
And 100%.
And 100%. They have been given...
That would be the most Dignitas thing in the world, though, to not even make it out of this group.
I wouldn't doubt it.
That would be wild.
Sick makes it out.
Sick upsets Dignitas and lowers round 2.
Calling it here. Sick makes it out.
That would be Sick beats Carmine, and then they win their round 2 to go to the finals and make upper bracket.
If I had an Uncle Bill, I don't, but if I did, I would trust that man with my life, and they have an Uncle Bill, so I'm sold.
Fair.
How old is he? He's named Uncle Bill. Let me find this out.
Who knows?
He's 24.
I mean, for Rocket League, he's Uncle Bill.
Yeah. For Rocket League, he's Grandpa Bill at this point.
Almost great grandpa.
That's us.
Man, damn. Damn, I didn't think he was going to come back. But it's so quick.
All right.
Quick.
Hey, at least I'm still decent at the game.
But was there anything else that you guys wanted to mention on EU before we move forward?
About to get crazy.
Looking forward to the weekend.
Hell yeah. Oh, Quilly, do you have any questions for the masses?
Kind of used it already with the adding or with the.
That's fair.
Don't worry. Give me like 2 seconds. You guys talk about something, and I'm gonna come up with the most insane question of all time.
Okay.
Oh, God.
What 3 teams other than Carmine Corps do you see making it to Birmingham from EU, knowing what we know now about the groups?
Oh, hang on. Let me pull up Trishie again.
Ninjas Vitality.
Ninjas Vitality Dig.
Fast forward.
What?
I don't even think they have enough points.
No. I think start point, GK, mates, 100% all have a reasonable shot. But they need like a shockingly bad performance from like a Dignitas or Ninjas in Pajamas.
Especially with this group setup, it's the 4 teams you see in top 4 right now, which is Carmine Corps, Vitality, then Dig, then NIP, will be your 4 teams from EU. Unless 100% goes on the craziest run of their
100%
careers.
just needs to do one place higher than Ninjas.
Yes.
They need to outperform Ninjas to get their spot.
However,
or Dignitas.
It is Ninjas.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Also, wait, Dignitas, they have to do one higher than Dig, which I guess it's only a 1 point differential between the two, so I guess that makes sense.
Yep. So if 100% can outperform Dignitas or Ninjas in Pajamas, then they get their spot. So the 4 that I'm going with is KC, Vitality, Ninjas in Pajamas, and 100%.
Ooh, okay.
I am also not a Dignitas believer.
Fair enough.
Less of a, I think Appjack has done well. I just think the Great White Shark is not very clutch.
I got Ninjas, K-Corp, obviously, Vitality.
Okay.
And how far out is RRG?
RRG is currently 10 points out, so they'd need
A win.
Yeah, basically.
All right, never mind. No one's beating. Karma Corp's not losing.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think Carmen Core is losing that.
If Dig,
No. K-Corp's just not going to lose an open in general. Like, no one's winning it.
But like, if they make a grand finals, that's still enough points, I believe. I think if they make a top 4, as long as Dig drops out of top 16, if they don't make top 8, then they're in.
But also with Dig's bracket, it's going to be very hard for that to happen.
Yep.
And Dig, unfortunately, is the safe bet.
I think Start Point, GK, and Mates would be the furthest away that you could reasonably say, like, unless they crash out like top 16.
Do you think Mates or GK blow up their team?
Yes.
If they don't make this major?
Yes.
Do you think they
this
both
major? Do you think? I don't know if they blow it up before the season's over.
No, not blow it up, but they'll make a roster move for sure.
That's I use that as the same term. Making a move after the first major is essentially blowing it up, in my opinion, because you didn't even make it through the first major without making a change.
So
because these are big names in the esport.
Yeah, GK is Archie Joyo Oli, and Mates is Juicy Seiko Radosin. So I could see someone coming after like an Acro or a Rezi from 100%. I think that 100% has drastically outperformed what a lot of people thought. I could see someone coming in back for Growly from Caliente. Rise Fox from RRG has been good. I don't know if I don't think Vitality makes a move. Carmine Corps doesn't make a move. I don't know if Ninjas make a move.
You think Vitality could drop their coach?
They have 2, Casio and Hugo.
I feel like with the lack of success, if the major goes bad, a coaching change could be in order. Because it's not like they don't have the talent.
True.
Infinite talent.
Yeah, but that was my question.
If
we don't have any more, that's totally fine too. It's not a big deal. I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that.
You're good. I got the blowing it up and coach change.
Fair. Anything else anybody else wants to add on RLCS, on CRL, on anything Rocket League related? A little bit shorter of an episode today.
Nothing. It's just we're just waiting for the weekend, waiting for more Rocket League.
Yep.
Need my fix.
So for the upcoming schedule, we will have EU, SAM, and APAC. Their open number 3s will be concluding this weekend. We will also be having the open qualifiers for the other regions, so NA, MENA, OCE, and SSA. And those regionals will conclude not this weekend, but the weekend after. So the weekend of March 1st and March 2nd. So by the first weekend in March, we will know all of the teams that will be heading to Birmingham for major number 1. We'll have a little bit of a break between that, because the major itself will be from the 27th to the 30th of March. So we'll have about 3 weeks in between the conclusion of open number 3 and the beginning of major number 1. So we will, look to fill that with some interviews and do some more cool segments. But, looking forward to some exciting high stakes Rocket League. But with that, we would like to thank you all so much for listening. We'd like to please remind you to rate us 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts. Share the show, tell a friend. It really helps us grow our audience and improve the show. Remember to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Twitch, which we're currently live recording or live streaming on right now. Come join our Discord. Come talk to us. Come play some Rocket League with us. Make sure you support us by checking out our merch store and our Patreon, as this is how we will be funding the show and doing giveaways in the future. All of these links and more can be found on our website at boostoverball.com. And from us here on the show, as always, remember to choose Boost over Ball. See ya.
Thanks for listening to the Boost Over Ball podcast. Make sure to check out our website at boostoverball.com.